Today I fucked up by finding my boyfriend's spank bank. I, 33F, wondered if my boyfriend, 41M, had a spank bank, so I asked him. He told me he did. When I asked if he kept nudes from exes, he said yes. We got into an argument about it because I think it's weird. He said he doesn't know a guy that doesn't do it. While that might be true, I still thought it was weird. I asked him why he had them, and if it was because he wanted to remember the good times or something, and he didn't answer. I asked if he used them recently, and he said not since we moved into our new place, which was within the last 3 months. I told him I didn't care if he did his deeds to porn, but to nudes of exes was a different story because it was more personal. I told him I appreciated how honest he was with me, and even though I had my opinions, it was ultimately his business. Fast forward a few weeks later, it had been eating me up inside. I've always been curious, and he's always been so closed off about sex. I decided to snoop. Now before you come for me, yes, I know this is an invasion of privacy. Yes, I know this is fucked up, and I know I will need to break things off with him, but hear me out because it's doomed anyway and I'm breaking things off. I know my way around technology and used to use that knowledge to get access to things that I shouldn't have access to. Take that how you want. I ended up finding his spank bank, and then some. I found out that he had a folder dedicated to a familiar name. It's a common name, but I dismissed it and kept going. Turns out, it was an old boss who really screwed me months ago on a job promotion. He had a whole folder, just for her. I had no idea he hooked up with her, let alone, they seemed to have had a whole relationship. On top of that, there were so many files from other women in a separate folder, including my own pics and videos. I had been thinking about this for a few hours now. I can't tell what I'm more surprised about, hooking up with my ex-boss and not telling me about it, or that he led me to believe this entire time we've been together, that he's an inexperienced, nerdy guy that never got dates or women, when in actuality, he gets many women and it's the exact opposite. I also want to add that he has a type: blonde hair, blue eyes, big tits. I am a brown woman, jet black hair, fat ass, mediocre tits. I'm not his type, my guys. I feel like he's settling for me. I feel like I never knew who he really was. I am shocked that he fucked my ex-boss. It's going to be weird living out the rest of this lease after we break up. Too long did not read. I found his spank bank and he fucked my old boss. He also used to get lots of sex when he led me to believe he didn't. Edits. I wanted to clear some things up before I posted the update. I wanted to break up with him because I fucked up and violated his privacy by snooping. I agree with the lot of you. It was fucked up, way worse than finding old nudes. Kinda like cheating because of the trust thing. When I say inexperienced, I meant that he was inexperienced with relationships and inexperienced with kinkier sex. I love kinkier shit. For whatever reason, he only liked vanilla stuff, and whenever I wanted to explore other things like toys, props, etc., he would say he's never tried and would never be into it, but, boy did those pics prove that wrong. A lot of people are asking what led me to believe he was inexperienced. Him. It's his words. He said it. It's not what I'm looking for. I'd like for him to be more comfortable with his sexuality, but that's his own thing to work with. I take what he gives because it's good enough. Honestly, I'm pretty open-minded, so if he had been any level of experience, I would have still gave him a shot because his beard and his nose feel great, if you know what I mean. Am I insecure? Yes. Everyone is insecure though. Did I let my insecurities cloud my judgment? Also yes. But because I let myself do this, I feel as though I have to leave. He doesn't deserve this. Yes, I do have some work to do on myself. Someone called me a prude. I love sex. I love talking about sex. I feel most comfortable when I feel sexy, like I'm in my element. Possibly trauma response, but that's a different conversation. I don't care that he looks at porn. I encouraged him to watch porn with me. It's just not everyone's cup of tea, and I get that too. These nudes are of exes. Past relationships. I know this because he said it himself when I asked if he kept nude pictures from past relationships. That's the part that sent me spiraling. To me, it's like a trophy that he can revisit, but with an emotional aspect because he was connected in real life to these women. A lot of people are saying I just want to be a victim. I don't believe I am a victim. I believe he is a victim of violation to his privacy and violating that trust. That's why I feel like I have to break up with him, because I did that to him, because I think it's the right thing to do. For clarification, there's only 2 folders. One folder is dedicated to ex-boss and the other is a general folder where the rest of us are. I'm not hell-bent on deleting my pics, videos. Hell, I wanted them from him so I could post them on my of. I'm on the side of, I sent them, I knew the risks, but I look damn good in those. The truth about him that I was looking for. I felt like he was hiding something. When you know someone for as long as we've known each other, 4 years of friendship before we started dating, you can tell when they're hiding something. He knew every single time when something bothered me, even if I lied and said it didn't. There's no doubt in my mind he knew it wasn't resolved when we argued about this. I felt like he was hiding something, like maybe there was someone else. I didn't feel like this the whole time, only when he worked with my ex-boss a few months ago. They are both directors in their line of work, so they will have conferences and team builds with other directors. That was the time when I felt like he was hiding something. I only became curious of him keeping nudes when he took video of the BJ I gave him earlier that day. I wondered what he did with it and if he had done it before with other girls. The truth was that I thought he was hiding something, and when I went snooping, I found out that he had relationships with my ex-boss and revisited her folder when he worked with her last. I don't think he's over her, but it doesn't matter because he chose to be with me. I'm not shy and I'm pretty curious, so I ask when I'm curious. IDK why I didn't ask to see them. When I think about it, I should have just asked. People are saying it's a red flag that he's 10 years older than me. WTF. He's not, and regardless, we're both consenting adults and became intimate while we were well into our adult years. I'm the breadwinner in our relationship, although he is very much capable of taking care of himself. There is no unfair power dynamic here. He's a director at his company that he works for and also have 2 other businesses. I have my main job, my of, and I have several other projects that generate streams of income. We both bring to our relationship. We chose to be with each other. No manipulations. I've also dated men older than 40 when I was younger, and those were red flag relationships. Did I miss anything? Update. We talked. I came clean. I told him that I know I violated his trust and I shouldn't have snooped, and I understand if he didn't want to be with me anymore, so I was breaking up with him. I told him I'd stay in a hotel or something if he didn't want to be near me after this, but I couldn't allow him to be with me when I'm so fucked up. He told me I was reaching and he didn't feel like his privacy was violated. He said he had nothing to hide. He knew my capabilities and said he expected it years ago, but was surprised that it didn't happen until now. He asked why I didn't just ask him, and I told him that I didn't know. I didn't have an excuse. He asked if I ever felt like he lied, and I told him about a few things. I brought up some of my findings and he said he was telling the truth when he said he wasn't into it. He said he lied about his inexperience because he didn't feel like it counted since he wasn't into it. He said he didn't want to break up and felt like he could move past it because it wasn't as big of deal as I have now made it, but if I couldn't get past it, then so be it. He said he didn't know he liked girls like me until he met me and crushed on me the whole time we were friends, even with all of my crazy. He told me he thought those girls he dated before was what he was supposed to like because of where he grew up. He said he wasn't settling for me because of his reasons that I'm not writing out. I asked him to sit in on my first therapy session with a new therapist, because my old one died from COVID. He said he's think about it because it's not his thing. I guess we're not broken up, but time will only tell. I still fucked up though. I'm not dismissing it. I should probably add in here that I fucked up by posting this on fucking Reddit. This is why I have a spank credit union. If I were you, I would delete my own nudes from the folder so that after you break up he doesn't have access. I don't have a spank bank of exes. Also, make sure you delete pics, vids of you. Let his next girlfriend find all the others and leave you out of this. Also deny him the ability to jerk off to your material. I certainly do not have pictures of exes. Absolutely not an all guys do it thing. It's a basic respect thing to not do that in a relationship. I would assume most are just random girls from the internet. Unless they all had his huge nerd dong in the pics. Was he banging your boss while you two were together? Today I fucked up by showing my girlfriend a Today I Fucked Up post. Obligatory bit of backstory. My girlfriend and I both use Reddit quite a bit, and browsing, sharing TIFUs has been quite a common occurrence for the last few weeks. This morning, I woke early and saw the top post. Today I fucked up reading a manuscript my ex-girlfriend wrote. And I personally thought it was pretty funny and wanted to share it with her. This is where the first fuck up started. We generally tend to joke about anything, and I've never put jokes about dick size off limits. Now I'm not particularly packing very much heat. but I'd say average or slightly below average is a good estimate. I'll sometimes make some side comment about being on the smaller side, but all in good fun. Obligatory disclaimer: we have a healthy relationship and active sex life, with very little insecurity. However, I decided today that it was a great idea to introduce her to this post with the context that I felt some camaraderie with the turtle. She laughed, we enjoyed the post, thought we were good. It was most definitely not good. I decide to continue with our morning routine and try and get a little bit of morning action. Immediately after starting, she starts laughing, the type of laugh where you start tearing up. So much so that she has to run to the washroom in fear of peeing the bed. Now I'm standing here, dick in hand, all confused and wondering what's happening. Well, apparently, she can't stop thinking of my penis as a head of a turtle and is now incessantly and almost uncontrollably is running a bit where everything I do is now turtle related. Most notable mentions: let me wet my cove so the turtle can come back home, unsheath your head from your shell, while fucking. Turtle really knows how to move like the waves of the ocean. Moaning, Master Ogwe in my ear. Rub my clit like Ogwe and his water droplet, while in missionary. I feel like a beached turtle on their back as well, all of this while still breaking down into laughter over and over. It's been 3 hours and sex is still unsuccessful. Edit, update. I showed my girlfriend this post and she's having a blast. We decided to do some experimentation, for science of course. And I'm somewhat proud to say that I have now tried having sex while tied up with BDSM rope in the rough attempt to make a turtle shell on my back. 3/10 worth trying, could be worse, probably never again. Too long did not read. Showed my girlfriend a "Today I fucked up" post about comparing a small dick to a turtle, and now it's impossible to successfully have sex because she can't stop thinking about turtle sex analogies. Edit. Had sex as a turtle. Buy a damn turtle outfit and bang the crap out of her. It's been 3 hours and sex is still unsuccessful. I really admire your persistence. Keep it up and you'll be breaching the sea cave in no time. Moaning, Master Ogwe in my ear. This is the greatest thing I've ever read. Your losses are gain, my friend. There are no accidents. Giphy, Woe Hdog 9 EKWPQ. The more you fight it, the worse it'll get. Steer into the skid and try out Weird Her. Put on a video of turtles mating as a substitute for porn, make turtle mating sounds. The joke will be over within hours, though you still might not get laid for a week. Jesus Christ, that woman's manuscript is taking lives left and right. LMAO. Today I fucked up by being a grown-ass man on a hotel waterslide. We were vacationing and staying overnight at a mid-range hotel. I enjoy a good soak in a hot tub and maybe even a dip in the pool after to cool off, so we chose a place that had both. What I didn't know is that attached to the pool was also a waterslide. As I enjoyed a nice soak, I watched kid after kid gleefully corkscrew down the slide and gracefully plop into the water like a duck jumping into a lake and swim off. I decided I wasn't leaving without at least one trip down the slide, so up I went. When I got to the top, it looked much higher than it appeared from ground level. But rather than doing the walk of shame back down, I sucked it up and went for it. Aside from all the warnings about liability etc., there was a sign that said make sure the area is clear before you slide. So a quick check and it all looked good. I even did the luge boost to maximize my enjoyment. About halfway down I realized I was going very, very fast. Like almost upside down in the tube fast. When I hit the water, instead of plopping in gracefully like all the 50 pounds kids, I came rocketing out of the chute at maximum warp and skidded across the pool like a hydroplaning orca. Unfortunately I took out 3 unsuspecting kids in the process. When I finally got myself upright in the water, I made sure everyone was okay. Then I noticed the parents' faces who were looking on, which can only be described as horrified, amazed and disappointed. I also managed to give myself an enema, an atomic wedgie and a chlorine nasal cleansing. Needless to say, I quickly packed up my stuff and exited the pool area. Luckily we were checking out early the next morning. Too long did not read. A grown-ass man uses the hotel waterslide and underestimates the velocity at which it would eject him into the pool area. While skipping across the water, he takes out 3 unsuspecting kids in the process, much to the horror of the onlooking parents. Gets free enema. 10 points per kid equals 30 points. The parents were just mad that now you're up 30-0. Even as kids we all knew that once you are out of the slide you GTFO before the next person rocks into you. Is this a fuck-up or is it a legendary moment you'll remember for a while? We call this pool bowling. Bonus points if you get them to leave the pool. So was the enema strong enough to cause the nasal cleansing? Or were you being attacked by all directions? Those children knew the risks.